More about the pilot killed. We'll also see you on the CW because you're talking about a sting at the Bronco. 4 people arrested for what they were selling. After its bond proposal failed, YSD is going back to the voters. We'll let you know how many millions the district wants and when. Lunchtime is not what it used to be, and some parents worry students aren't getting enough time to eat a proper meal. Nicole?
Another hot day across the borderland tomorrow, but we are tracking a cool down. Details in Storm Track Weather.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
Hello everyone, this is ABC-7 at 9 on the CW. I'm Rick Cabrera in tonight for Bob Harp. And I have all the stories you're buzzing about on social media.
And I'm Nicole Gomez. I'm also tracking what you're saying, and I'm tracking your Storm Track weather forecast. Coming up in just a few minutes, here's what we're going to talk about. The hot temperatures. It will be another hot day tomorrow. We'll take a closer look at Doppler radar and talk about the possibility of isolated storms in the forecast. That's all coming up in just a bit. Rick?
Sounds good, Nicole. Thank you very much. And we begin tonight with breaking news from our New Mexico mobile newsroom. New Mexico State Police have identified the pilot of the small plane that crashed outside the Las Cruces airport last week. Investigators say 64-year-old David Tokoff of El Paso died at University Medical Center last night. The nose of the vintage Navy plane was badly damaged after a crash landing on a hill in the desert. Investigators say Tokoff's passenger, Angelo Edgar Cossi of France, was treated for injuries at a Las Cruces hospital. If David Tokoff's name sounds familiar, it's because we introduced you to him back in 2009 when he piloted a small plane that broke a big record. He was part of a group of El Pasoans who traveled nonstop between Russia and El Paso. That's a journey of more than 5,400 miles. An ABC-7 camera was rolling as the Gulfstream jet, decorated in friendship signs, touched down in the Sun City. Tokoff and his crew crossed 5 time zones and saw 2 sunrises. We spoke with Tokoff soon after he arrived in El Paso.
It's good for El Paso because as El Pasoans, we naturally want to come to our hometown, and we brought the only airplane to come nonstop from Russia, to our knowledge, in the history of aviation.
Then Mayor John Cook welcomed the crew home, even sharing a sip of vodka with the men. I met Mr. Tokoff many years ago, and I want to personally pass along my condolences to his family, including his wife Denise and his son David Jr. May he rest in peace. He was 64 years old. A federal judge has cleared the way for an abortion clinic in El Paso to regain its state license and reopen. It would be the first to reopen in Texas since the U.S. Supreme Court temporarily blocked the enforcement of key restrictions nearly 2 months ago. Reproductive Services gave up its lease last year because the doctor performing abortions couldn't get hospital admitting privileges. In addition to that mandate, the new abortion law in Texas also requires clinics to meet hospital-like surgical standards. The clinic requested its license soon after the Supreme Court ruling. However, the Department of State Health Services didn't issue the license because it was waiting for guidance on how to proceed. This Monday, a U.S. district judge ordered Texas not to enforce the hospital-like surgical standards requirement. The judge ruled state officials could be held in contempt of court if they fail to comply. Once it regains its license, the clinic would remain open at least until the Supreme Court decides whether to hear the appeal of abortion clinics fighting those new regulations. A lower court ruled in favor of the state. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Just a few hours ago, the Isleta Independent School District Board of Trustees approved a $430.5 million bond proposal it will send to the voters. ABC-7's Jerry Nakara was at tonight's meeting. He's live now. Jerry?
Rick, teachers, principals, and members of the Bond Advisory Committee who drafted the proposal stood up and cheered as soon as the vote came down. Their work is far from over, though. Now they have to convince voters who rejected a bond proposal earlier this year to approve the new proposal in November. The vote was passed 5-1. Trustee Paul Pearson was not in attendance, and Trustee Anya Duñez voted against the bond, saying she didn't have enough information in front of her to approve the proposal. Keep in mind, Duñez also voted against the previous bond proposal. So what's at stake now? The district says the $430 million bond is needed to improve its aging schools, including rebuilding Eastwood High School and building a new Bel Air Middle School. The proposal would also pay for a new artificial turf at all high school football stadiums. This new bond proposal comes in at $21 million less than last May's bond proposal. I asked District Superintendent Javier de la Torre why he thinks the bond will pass this time around.
Since then, we've conducted a survey that indicates that there was perhaps a need for more information. There was a lot of misunderstanding in the community. One of the things we learned, for example, was that 50% of the people that opposed the first bond were unaware of the 20% homestead exemption. They were unaware of the fact that taxes are frozen for citizens that are 65 years of age or older.
De la Torre tells me last year he was the one pushing the information on the bond. This time around, everyone from the district will work on giving out all the information. Rick?
They have 3 months to educate voters. Okay, Jerry, thank you. We told you how City Rep Claudia Ordaz brought up the city manager's pay raise again yesterday because she had problems with the process used to approve it. So today, our Maria Garcia asked, why not change the process?
Ordaz repeatedly said she supports the city manager, but not the process used to approve his raise. So today we asked a natural question. Why didn't she do more to change that process that she spoke out against?
The public is rightfully upset about the process.
Two of Ordaz's main concerns were that the agenda language didn't mention the council would be discussing a raise, only Gonzalez's contract, meaning some city reps, she says, didn't have time to research the issue before discussing it. And two, that there was no one from the Human Resources or City Attorney's Office in the room to answer council's questions during the raise discussion. Yet Ordaz did not propose changing those things, though she says she's still going to watch out for them in the future.
Making sure that there's HR professionals in the room, making sure that a true market-based analysis is done by professionals, not by city representatives.
Ordaz did unsuccessfully propose revisiting the city manager raise after doing an official market-based salary analysis, comparing Gonzalez's full pay to other city managers. City reps Larry Romero and Emma Acosta did provide research showing he made less money, and the city attorney said the research they provided could be enough. But Ordaz says the city shouldn't rely on unofficial research by others on council.
A true market-based analysis would include full compensation, it would include the size of the city, it would include the number of employees, and also the number of years the city manager has been there, what they started on. That's a true market-based analysis.
Acosta's and Romero's research did include some of that information, but not all of it, like a full list of benefits. Maria Garcia, ABC-7.
Other city reps like Michael No dispute Ordaz's claim that the city attorney was not there to answer the council's questions on the raise. Our ABC-7 crew did see the city attorney walking into closed session when the council was discussing it. And No says Ordaz didn't propose more concrete changes to the process because the council did it right. The Doña County Sheriff's Office is investigating possible financial irregularities with funds generated from purchases made by inmates at the Doña County Detention Center. And according to the county's website, profits are only to be used for buying services and programs for inmates. A grand jury served the subpoenas last week to the county's legal department. They request the case file on any internal affairs investigation that was completed by Kim Stewart about the misuse of the inmate welfare funds. They also request information about any possible missing gym equipment involving jail administrator Christopher Barella between November 2008 and April 2009. The Doña County manager Julia Brown did confirm with our New Mexico mobile newsroom that an investigation regarding inmate welfare funds is underway.
Obviously, we want to be cooperative with any investigation with law enforcement. We just got these a few days ago, and we're in the process now of looking through records and files to see what we have, which can be provided in response to this subpoena.
Jail administrator Barella has not been charged with a crime. Sheriff's Office investigator Ken Roberts would only confirm the subpoenas were served and an investigation is underway. Stewart is a former internal affairs investigator who was awarded $1.3 million last month by a jury after she sued Doña County over alleged retaliation by its management. Let's turn to storm track weather now. Nicole Gomez has your first forecast. Another warm one, Nicole, but we didn't get the triple digits. I guess that's a victory.
We didn't, but we were close enough. 99 degrees,
were.
almost there, but it was hot. 99 was the official high at the El Paso International Airport. But we'll talk about our forecast highs coming up in just a few minutes. Let's talk about those current conditions out there on Doppler radar. We're dry here in El Paso, Las Cruces, pretty much the entire region. Well to our south, that's where most of the moisture is, and it will continue to move towards the south, but we're still nice and warm out there. 86 degrees El Paso, 85 Las Cruces, we're at 88 TRC, 82 Silver City, clear skies out in Dimming, 86 degrees. We're also under clear skies in Guadalupe Pass. But our wind speeds, it is windy out there, El Paso. We have winds coming in at 23 miles per hour, 18 Las Cruces, 25 Guadalupe Pass, a little lighter out to the west in Dimming, and calm winds in TRC. And our wind gusts, notice El Paso and Las Cruces, windy. We're at 30 miles per hour at the airport in El Paso and 23 Las Cruces. So we're mainly clear tonight, but tomorrow slight rain chances will return to the forecast. So we'll talk about those rain chances if we're expected to continue to see the stronger winds and your weekend forecast. That's all coming up in just a bit. Rick?
Sounds good, Nicole. Thank you very much. ABC-7 and text out with live traffic coverage this evening. The time is 9:10, and you can see I-10 in Yarborough on the east side of town. Lots of cars on the roadways, but no backups to tell you about. The number of cases of West Nile virus has spiked in recent days. Some alarming news this evening. Health officials say this week alone there have been 6 new confirmed cases. There was only one other confirmed case this year. Health officials say it's a result of recent rains. Don't forget to get rid of any standing water that can be a breeding ground for mosquitoes. The new cases involve 2 elderly men, an elderly woman, 2 middle-aged men, and a young man. A big load of cocaine is off the streets thanks to border officers and a dog named Chip. Take a look at this picture. You'll see 10.5 pounds of cocaine. It was found stashed in the dashboard and back seats of a Saturn crossing into the U.S. at the Paso del Norte Bridge. Officials said the drugs have a street value of $328,000. The driver, 27-year-old Gustavo Antonio Jaquez of El Paso, was turned over to federal agents. An apparently simple request from a neighbor turned into a brawl and arrest. 54-year-old Delia Soto is accused of beating her neighbor's boyfriend. Police say the neighbor sent her 11-year-old son to ask Soto for 2 eggs. When the boy returned, he told her Soto scolded him. Police say Soto was drunk and holding a knife when the neighbor confronted her about verbally abusing her son. Police say the neighbor spotted a deputy driving by, and while flagging him down, Soto was straddling her 58-year-old boyfriend and allegedly beating the man in the face. Soto is charged with aggravated assault and battery. Connect with us by using the name CU on the CW on the big 3 social media apps. You can also join the discussion at KVIA.com by taking part in our Facebook discussion, or at ABC-7 Breaking on Twitter. Still to come, you don't want to wake up and smell this flower, but we'll show you why people are still lining up in Denver just to see it. Also, that's not nothing new. It's been going on for years now. That's reaction on Facebook from Irish Zombie Marine about a recent arrest at a popular flea market. That's coming up, plus more of your comments. Nicole?
And the rain chances will go up. Will it affect your weekend or the rest of your work week? That answer coming up in weather.
This is ABC-7 at 9 on the CW, where you don't just watch the news, you are part of the story.